forget you. Zimbabwe, Belle Africa, Mama Africa, Zira Babylon, I cannot forget you. Zimbabwe, Belle Africa, Mama Africa, Zira Babylon.
Welcome to Nollywood Radio France. Your host is Cyprian Joseph. This program has been brought to you by Cyril Ibe, our US-based editorial consultant and foreign editor for Nollywood Croissants magazine. Additional support is provided by our partner Oba Odi Onwodiwe, Goodwill Ambassador, Nollywood actress, singer, songwriter, humanitarian and victim advocate. Please stay tuned. In this podcast, we bring you an exclusive interview with Nollywood star Miss Ameze. Please stay tuned.
Nollywood Radio France is doing a great job. I am so proud of you. We need all the support, we need all the encouragement, and we need all the exposure that this genre of movies can get worldwide, and you're doing a great thing. I am so proud of Nollywood France. It's still quite young, but you've made really big, giant strides. So it's a place to be, and I will call out to all other filmmakers, actors, actresses, writers to support this radio station, because it's putting us there on the map, and that's what we want. We need support, we need visibility, we need to be heard, and you're doing that. I have to say thank you so much. You're doing a great job, and anything we can do to also help you, we will do it, because together, united we are, and the stronger we are. So good job.
Miss Ameze, thank you for joining us.
Okay, so I know from reading about you that you have an extensive bio which is long from all the work you've done. But I would just ask you to maybe summarize it for us in 2 or 4 sentences, highlighting the movies you've acted and produced or directed, or where you got your movie degree, or is it from experience or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for having me on. Yes, like you said, I have been in this movie industry over 20 years now, actually. Wow. It's over 20 years, yeah. And when I started, what is known as Nollywood now wasn't Nollywood, it was Nigerian home videos. Okay. So, I'm seen as one of those originals of Nollywood. I grew up predominantly in a house where music, book reading, and the magic of movie making was very dominant. My dad was into it, my mom too. I didn't have a formal training, if you will, like I'm pure science. I'm a pure science student. I did science, and but I've always had a love for the arts, and it's in me. It's a talent, it's a passion. I have a passion for that craft. So the movies I've been in, wow, okay. Well, to name a few, those that are kind of very popular for people would remember me for, is Tears for Love. Tears for Love. Tears for Love. That was one of the first movies out then. Okay. There was Dead End. Okay. There was Suicide Mission. I can't even remember some names. I really cannot. Okay. And my baby was Flesh and Blood. Okay. That's the one that was. It was really, really, really big. Yeah. Very big. And I'm still known for that today. People still come to me and ask me if I have a twin. So at the time I did that movie, I had a twin. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So at the time I did that movie, I had a twin. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So at the time I did that movie, I had a twin. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So at the time I did that movie, I had a twin. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So at the time I did that movie, I had a twin. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So at the time I did that movie, I had a twin. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So at the time I did that movie, I had a twin. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So at the time I did that movie, I had a twin. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So at the time I did that movie, I had a twin. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So at the time I did that movie, I had a twin. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So at the time I did that movie, I had a twin. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So at the time I did that movie, I had a twin. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So at the time I did that movie, I had a twin. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. So at the It was challenging, and it wasn't something that was very popular. I acted the dual role of, twins.
Okay.
So it was just me playing those roles. So yeah, basically that's what I've done, and then I've crossed over to. I live in the United States now, so I Got Your Back is the first movie I'm doing here. That I'm doing all, wearing many hats.
Okay.
So,
Okay, we shall come to that. Let's go back to your family. There's something interesting you said that that's where the whole thing started, the inspiration.
Yeah.
I think that's very important for our audience to know, our podcast audience to know. That's where it all started. Your parents. How did you have a big library, or what's music? Who was the musician in the family, and so on?
It's so funny. If now that I look back, my family should have been one of those that actually packaged maybe a reality show. I mean, if it was around back then, we would have been doing that, because my dad was he was a science person too, but he had a flair for the artistic.
Okay.
So he would always record everything we did in the house, even my mom.
Okay.
From cooking to playing football.
Wow.
To doing homework. And then we had what was it called then? We had the projector where he would project on the wall everything that we did, even playing in the playground. So it was really, we saw that. So it was very commonplace to pose in front of the camera. My mom is cooking in the kitchen. He comes around, and it was fun.
Yeah.
And my mom is a retired school headmistress.
Okay.
So reading we had to read. We started reading very, very early.
Okay.
Early on. So we were given the love for literature.
Yeah.
And story writing.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. Actually, now that I think back, it's so long time. I remember even sitting down in the evenings and telling stories.
Aha.
And my parents would do that,
Yes.
And another thing, my dad was very traditionalist, because I didn't grow up in my, I'm Benin, I'm from Nigeria, from Edo State.
Edo State,
but we all can speak, myself and my siblings can speak in my native tongue, because my dad would make us read those books and tell stories in those books.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, it was like our own training theater school.
Yes.
And of course music was always playing. We had karaoke.
Yes.
It was a fun childhood.
Yeah, I can see that. Even from your tone, I can see that.
It was. Oh, those are the days.
And then as a young girl, as a little girl that time, how did you feel in this environment? It was a big fun for you?
You mean?
I mean, your family participating in what your dad, I mean, the projections and so on, the books, everything spells culture everywhere. You see.
It was, yes, it was. My dad was a very traditional man. He also wanted us to embrace our culture, our heritage, our tradition. Yes. I mean, when I was growing up, we couldn't speak English at home. Yeah. I mean, because that was how traditional my dad was. It was important that we spoke our language, especially growing up in a place where nobody else was speaking it, and so that, and just all that, I fell in love with the movie, with the magic of movie making. I loved it from the onset. I mean, I saw my dad edit.
Wow.
Even then they had the reel, the movie reel.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw all that growing up. And it's so nice to see it from scratch. And then when he projects on the wall, on the white wall or white screen, it's like, wow, we did that. So I fell in love very early on. So I knew, even while I was in school, people were used to Ameze. I was always breaking into songs, acting out of everything. So it wasn't really surprising when people started to see me on screen. My friends were like, "Oh, we all knew you were gonna go there."
Yes.
So yeah.
And then you studied science. What did you study precisely?
I studied I graduated with a BSc in zoology.
Okay.
In the University of Benin. Yeah.
And then why did you turn to acting then? It's because of all these, all what happened in your home, that inspiration. Your dad was the real inspiration, right?
He was.
Yes.
I would say my parents.
Parents, yes.
We all acted in front of the camera. We all acted silly. It was nice growing up watching my parents act silly. You know,
oh my
say
God.
silly. You know, it was funny. It was nice.
Joy.
My mom would be in the kitchen, and my dad would like dance. You know, do something. Don't be so boring. Don't just stand there, make an act of cooking. You know, and she's like, she would shake her head and do something funny, and we all laugh. It was fun.
It's fun, yes.
And how did I get into it? From the time I came out of school,
Okay.
I just gravitated towards the arts.
Okay.
I met the people I came across. I write a lot, so that also got me noticed very early on. My writing, you know, short stories, a lot of them, as many people will know in this industry, sometimes you don't get credit for them when you're starting out, but it's okay. You're just so glad for people to even notice your work or use it. You know, eventually, you get to realize you want credit for your work.
Yeah.
But initially, it was just, you know, you're writing. You just want people to. You don't care. You know, and I did a lot of those. Even working for a magazine, I would write stories, and sometimes I didn't get the bylines. I didn't get acknowledged for them, but it was fine.
Yeah.
It was okay. You're doing something. You're happy.
Yes, passionate about. Yes.
You've been listening to Nollywood Radio France, supported by Nollywood Croissants Magazine and our partner Obaodi Onwudiwe. Keep checking on this website for new episodes of Nollywood Radio France. Like us on Facebook. You can also log in to our website www.nollywoodfrance.com.